Okay, so linear is line. So if it looks like a straight line that never ends, it has no bends, then it is linear. If you have something that has a break in it or is curved, that is not a straight line, obviously that is nonlinear. Then we started talking about intercepts. So the x-intercept is talking about the x-coordinate of a point that crosses the x-axis. So all the x's are together. The y-intercept is the y-coordinate of a point that crosses the y-axis. All right? And finally, we had a couple examples. The first one, which I think is not a good example. The second one, and I want you to make sure you remember too, gentlemen, that once you write the x-intercept, you don't have to write the 0 behind it, okay? Because any x-intercept will always have a y-coordinate of 0. And finally here we said this intercept was 0, 12, so the y-intercept is 12 itself, okay? So I think that pretty much brings us up to speed. Let's look at the bottom of your page 7, and it says, estimate the x and y intercepts of each graph. So right now, I want you to write down what you think the x and y intercepts are of those two graphs, A and B. Oh. So I just asked what the x-intercept was for the first graph, and someone said -5, 0. What do you guys think of that? Imani? Is that right? Well, we got to figure it out. Where is the point, -5, 0? Is this the point, -5, 0? Is it 5 to the left, and then we haven't gone up or down? So that looks to be -5, 0. Is that what you had? Okay. And that's right. It is -5, 0, but because we also know it is the x-intercept, we could just say -5. Okay? So it's okay to say -5, 0, but we know all x-intercepts are going to have a y-coordinate of 0. So you could just say -5. Okay? Very good. All right, y-intercept. Kamari. 2. Well, there's my graph. Here's where it's crossing the y-axis. Is he correct?
Yep.
Yes, he is. We are 2 for 2. Nice job. Any questions on that first one? All right. Now, take a look at this. This is a continuous nonlinear function. Continuous because it keeps going on forever. Nonlinear, it's not a line, and it is a function. What are or is my x-intercept for this graph? One more time for the old lady.
-4, -2, 0, 5.
-5.
-4.
Oh, -4. Sorry, should have done that. -2. 0. 3. 5. Extra bonus points if you could do those little braces. But if you just write them down in a list, I think I'll take it. I'll take it. But I'd really like you to see it in braces. Okay, so yes, you can have multiple x-intercepts. It's where your graph crosses the x-axis. How about y-intercept or seps? 0. Yes, it's right here. It happens to be the same one, and it is 0. Any questions on that? Is that y-intercept of 0, is that the x-coordinate or the y-coordinate? It's the y. Yes, the y. All right, let's turn to the page. Now we're going to see if we can figure out where these intercepts are in a table. Where are they in a table? Now, I have to tell you, these two problems are all mixed up. Because if you look at it, it talks about Mrs. Anderson putting out tissues for her students, and then it says the table below shows the number of pencils. Well, you need to cross out pencils and put tissues. Okay? So we got teachers trying to do too much work and change things up too quickly. And then look at number 2. Kristen got a gift card for her birthday. Below shows the money remaining after each purchase, and it says pencils remaining. So I'm going to change this up a bit, and let's say this is money remaining, like on the gift card after you've made a purchase. Okay? All right, so let's focus on number 1 now. Mrs. Anderson puts out tissues for her students at the start of each semester. The table below shows the number of tissues remaining each week. Okay, first of all, I want you to see, can you find the x and y intercepts? How can you do that? How can you tell very easily looking at this table?
For x, y have to be equal to 0.
Okay, for the x-intercept, the y would have to be a 0. And for the y-intercept,
X to have to be 0.
yeah, so when you see these, you should know that those ordered pairs are the intercepts right away because they have zeros with them. Okay? We know domain is going to be my x value, so that's the number of weeks. We know that the range is going to be my y values, okay? And so if I want the x-intercept, I need to be looking for a value in the x-coordinate where it crosses the x-axis. What is my x-intercept here? It's going to be 5 because this is the ordered pair, gentlemen, 5, 0. These are all ordered pairs. So 5, 0, that's your x-coordinate, so the x-intercept is 5. What's my y? We'll come back after. So as we were leaving, we were talking about how can we tell if they are intercepts? Well, you need to look where the zeros are, okay? So we had 0, 153, and we had 5, 0. So both of those are intercepts, and we figured out that the x-intercept is where you have the x-coordinate is 5, and the y-coordinate is 0. So the y-intercept, I think I was talking to somebody. Maybe not. What's the y-intercept of this table then? Callie? Any idea? Well, if we use this one already and said 5 is the x-intercept, what do you think the y-intercept must be then? The other circled 1. And what's the y-coordinate of that point? That is correct. So this is the y-intercept right here. Questions on that? How you can at least find the intercepts. You got to look where the zeros are. Now, we want to know what do each of these mean. So when I say the x-intercept is 5, I know that that is the same as 5, 0, correct? And as I look at the description, the X value is the number of weeks. And the 0 is the Y or range tissues remaining. So I put weeks up here and I say tissues remaining because those are the labels that go with each of those X and Y amounts. So I would say after 5 weeks, and you should write this down, this is the interpretation of the intercepts. After 5 weeks, comma, there are no tissues left, or 0 tissues left. Okay? And think about it. Does that make sense? Yeah, you start with a few tissues. By the end of 5 weeks, you could be out. Now, let's do the same for the y-intercept. We know it's 153. We also know we could write that as 0, comma, 153. So my 0 is the x-coordinate. That means it's still talking about weeks. And the y-coordinate is talking about the number of tissues. So I could say after 0 weeks, which seems a little odd to say that. Another way to say that would be at the beginning of the year. That would be 0 weeks, right? At the beginning of the school year, there were how many tissues? 153 tissues. Okay? So you see, by lining these up and looking back at the label for the X and Y values, that helps give you the interpretation of what it is you're talking about. Does that make sense? Johan, does that make sense? Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the second problem, which is similar. I want you to see if you can start this one on your own. First of all, can you circle the 2 intercepts? Circle the 2 intercepts. Once you have those circled, can you tell which one is the x-intercept and which one is the y-intercept? Can you tell which one is the x-intercept and which one is the y-intercept? Oh, wait. I'm just asking rhetorically. You're not supposed to answer yet. Don't be drawing on my calculators. That is school property. Okay. All right. So, first of all, I said you should circle the intercepts. Hopefully, you circled these 2 sets of numbers. Those are the intercepts. What is my x-intercept? Michaela. What's my x-intercept for this problem? Yeah, or you could just say 5, right? But I would also take 5, 0. They're both accurate. What is my y-intercept then? Come on, if we've already done the x, it would be, Kaylee, what would it be? Yes, 120. And or you could put 0, 120. So fill in the blanks with the meaning of each. The x-intercept is 5, which we know is the same, that's an arrow, same as 5, 0. And then in this case, we would say after 5 weeks, there is what? Because we're talking about Someone got Kristen a gift card for her birthday. Below shows the money remaining after each week. So after 5 weeks, there is what? How much money is left on the gift card? $0. There is $0 left on the gift card. She spent it all. Okay. Now, for my y-intercept. The y-intercept is 120. We know that is 0, 120. So we would say at 0 weeks, or another way to say that is when she just got the card, okay, at 0 weeks, or when she got the card, that might make a little more sense. There was what? $130 on the gift card. 120. $120 on the gift card. Okay. Questions on that? Yes. I guess. What time is it? I mean, I see what time. I'm trying to think. This is C45. Yes. Give me just a second. Any questions on these? Do you know how to find the intercepts if they give you a table? Do you know how to find the x-intercept versus the y-intercept? Do you know how to describe what is happening in each of those intercepts? Okay. No? Okay. All right. So we are done with the notes for today. You can put those to the